Welcome back, everybody. This is GTF, and as a bonus to celebrate finishing with Felghana, I just decided to do a quick little run-through of East 2 Complete's boss rush mode. I'd do it with Felghana, but that'd be kind of long, and, well, frankly, we've seen all those bosses already. So this is basically East 2 Complete's boss rush. Nothing special, because it's really just kill them with fireballs, with the exception of Dallas and Dawn. Bosses are a little more involved than they were in the original incarnations, like the turbo version of these two, but they really are mostly unchanged. They're just cosmetically prettier. One of the differences, though, is that you can charge up your fireball for a lot more extra damage, and that makes killing these guys really fast. The other main difference is the MP gauge has its own secondary bar that overlaps it, that controls how much you can shoot in a given period of time. It decreases as your MP goes down, so the more you shoot, the less you can actually do in one sitting. You have to stop and let it recharge, and that's why I'm not just completely fireball spamming the whole time. Since we're fighting Galaldi right now, I'd just like to note this guy also reappears in East Origin with a full body. Apparently, in East Origin is when he becomes this severed head that we recognize him as now. Otherwise, it's a pretty simple stage. Please ignore the sign-off thing when I was doing this. I forgot to shut off my messenger, and I really didn't want to do that. I gotta redo this. I got a good run. Nothing very special with these guys. Galaldi's probably the first, genuinely hard boss you might run into, especially if you can't quite figure out where his weakness is, which is in his open mouth. And yeah, he spits out one little enemy right there who's more or less just to get in your way. You can plow through him with your sword real easy. And he goes boom. Next up is Dreuger. Killer robot spider thing. Yeah, that totally makes sense in the East world. This guy you can actually kill pretty fast, but I did not get a good start on him. If you really hammer into him right when he's coming out of the wall and marching towards you, you can drain him in pretty much one pass. But since I didn't do that, now we have to sort of play with him and lure him back up, because you can get caught between him and the back of the back door there, and just never get out, and he'll just ram you to death over and over and over again. And there's pretty much no way out of it. In the main game, it's not so much of an issue, because by default you can actually leave a boss room and come back. And in some cases, if the boss actually spoke to you, they'd mock you for running away when you face them again. In this case, Zava would do that. This bitch here. We face her in East Origin as well, although she's completely redesigned cosmetically and she's kind of hot. She's no longer this weird squid thing. Not too much different from the turbo version, except the bats now kind of turn the arena into a small bullet hell shooter. Every time you kill the first wave of bats, she unleashes one more than she did last time. So once I kill these things, she'll send out 4. The item that I'm forcibly equipped with here for boss rush mode that has changed the color of my fireballs is the Falcon Idol. It has a much more noticeable difference than the turbo incarnation, where personally I really just could never tell what its influence actually was compared to the Hawk's Idol. But in this case, it makes your fireball white, and your fireball, the charged fireball I should say, then explodes on impact into smaller ones. It can really clear a room very easily. In this case, it can kill the bats very easily, too. And now, this is the other big difference. Now, in the turbo version, Zava would just send out bats until she died. She now actually attacks you herself after you've killed, that wave of 4 bats. Now it's time for revenge with Dallas. It's kind of hard to wear his ring there. He's kind of just telling you he sealed your magic. If you came in to face him with some other magic instead of the fireball, you might still be able to use it. In some cases, like the time magic, it'll still let you use the time magic against him, but instead he reverses it and you end up freezing yourself. and then he covers the room with bullets that will start swarming towards you once time starts going again. He basically Zawarodos you, because the influence of Dio Brando is everywhere. And this is pretty much all it is. Notice I've been getting reamed by him a lot, and I'm not taking too much damage. Because this is boss rush, you are a little over-leveled, but even with the average progress, Douse is still ridiculously easy, because by now you have the Clarius Sword and the Clarius Armor. He really can barely hurt you with it. But now for the final battle. Darm. I love the cosmetic redesigns for him for Complete, compared to what he looked like in Turbo versions. That is just badass looking. However, I must say he is ridiculously easy. Dark Fact is harder in the Complete series, because Dark Fact can insta-kill you, and he does. You're very prone to doing so, in all honesty. This is what Dark Fact is. Just keep bashing into him over and over again. His attacks are all in all very easy to dodge, and for when you do get hit, you should have the shield magic by now, and Boss Rush gives you the shield magic by default. I mean, it's more than possible to kill this guy before your shield magic ever runs out, but, you know, if you get caught in that giant laser, well, that's going to eat your shield and your health really quick. Gotta admit, it's a big difference from just teleporting around and shooting meteors at you. More giant lasers and homing bombs. All in all, it's a very fun fight, and I almost died there. I kind of panicked and used the smoked meat. I didn't need it. And here we go. Beat my best times on almost everything, except for Dreuger and Zava, where I had some bad starts. But that was these two boss rush. Hope you enjoyed it. Just a quick little bonus for celebrating Felghana. And see you next time.